Mac Miller, Biggie, Tupac, Amy Winehouse, Sam Cooke, and many other artists have passed before their time. They're all artists that have released music after their death. Now, this, of course, comes with a bit of a morality question. Is it right or is it wrong? Is it right to release someone's work that they've put blood, sweat, and tears into after their passing can no longer put that touch, that final touch that they usually do? Or is it wrong and we should leave it as it is and it to never be seen as the artist never intended to release it? Well, my name is Very Moody, and today we're going to be discussing about posthumous music. Posthumous music is music that is released after an artist's passing, and usually the people in charge are either close to the artist's record label, or family. Now, this video, we're going to be talking about the morality of it. Is it right? Is it wrong? Why is it good? Why is it bad? And this isn't really an opinion video from me. This is more of a open discussion, what it is. So if you guys have an opinion on the topic, please let me know down below. Let's share it around, as there's more artists than ever passing away, especially in the rap scene. We're seeing more and more artists releasing posthumous music. We have Pop Smoke, we have X, we have Juice WRLD, and there's plenty of other artists that are passing away. King Von is another example. I feel like this is a very pressing issue, or a very pressing topic nowadays. So without further ado, my name is Very Moody. Let's talk about posthumous music, the good and the bad. So let's start off with the good. Why is posthumous music a good thing? Now, many artists tend to have been working on an album before they passed. With Tupac, it was Machiavelli, the 7-Day Theory. With Juice WRLD, it was Legends Never Die. But most of the time, those artists had that at a finished state, or at a very close to finished state, and were raring to release it. Now, this still counts as posthumous music, but it's an album that they intended to release, or it was music that they intended to release, singles or albums or EPs that were close to completion at their death. Now, this would fulfill their artist's vision and leave a last note as they pass, that they still worked on something, they still have something left to give, they still have something that they wanted to show before their untimely passing. Another good reason for posthumous music is legacy. Oftentimes, artists can be great but weren't loved during their time, and posthumous music that came out after their death, helps prolong their legacy, or get more people knowing, more generations to know about that artist's greatness. I'll take myself as an example. When Mac Miller was alive, I wasn't a huge fan, not because I didn't like his music, but I didn't know much of his music. I knew a few that he did with Ariana Grande, a few of his features. I thought he was cool, but I never really checked him out. But once Circles came out after his death, his first posthumous release, I decided to take a look, and after that I was blown away and decided to listen to every single album of his. And that just shows the power of posthumous music. If you have a good release after the artist's death at an appropriate time, it can bring in new fans, but also could give the artist the love that they never got when they were alive. Some artists really long for legacy. They long for their music to live on past them, and posthumous music gives a very clear path and a very clear way to that end goal of legacy. I mean, just as an example of a person that had more than solidified their legacy, including Mac Miller, for me would be Tupac. He released so many albums after he passed, 6 posthumous albums from when he passed, just showing his work rate, to the point where his legacy now is that he could still be alive and that he's the greatest in the game. Now, he got that reputation when he was alive, but the more posthumous music that came out, you can argue, helped perpetuate that his consistency with his bars and everything was, unbeknownst to anyone else, like consistent as hell. And it's gotten to the point that so many people think he's still alive and still out there and still making music. By the way, if you guys want a video on that, let me know in the comments down below. I would love to do a video on Tupac still being alive. So some examples of good posthumous releases for me would be Tupac's 7-Day Theory, Mac Miller's Circles, Juice WRLD's Legends Never Die, and I'm sure I can name others, but for right now, it's just not coming to mind. Now, you can make a good argument for the good, but you can also make a good argument for the bad. So let's get right on to the bad. Now, one of the reasons why posthumous music isn't a great thing is that oftentimes, even if an artist has that album almost finished or has a bunch of songs that are finished, There's a reason that they weren't released. There's a reason why they weren't completed. And to be able to not give the fans, the family, and whatever, and the music, the final touch that that artist always put on their tracks, the final push that that artist always put, their little touch, that you'll never get that again, but you'll get only emulations. You only get the fake version of that. You won't get the real artist's end product. Would mean that it would almost be a disservice to that artist. It's a very delicate balance, but if you get it wrong, such as XXXTentacion's Bad Vibes Forever, it can really ruin an artist's legacy, which is another thing. Now, you could say that it can preserve an artist's legacy, but you can also say it can destroy it. It could destroy any chance of an artist having long-term success after they've passed. Matter of fact, it can get so bad that even fans of theirs could just turn on them really quickly because it's no longer authentic to the artist. I mean, one of the worst Posthumous albums I've ever heard, I'm gonna say it again, XXXTentacion's Bad Vibes Forever were just little choruses and verses that he had here and there, and just filled up with features from other artists and production collaborations that just didn't make sense, that just you can't see the artist doing. And it seems more as a cash-in, which fans are not a big fan of, rather than a real tribute, a real love letter to that artist since they've passed. Now, this video may be a bit of a shorter one, but I just want to say at the end of the day, we don't really have the correct answer. There is no right answer to this. Some artists we know really wanted to have all of their music released, but were taking their time with it and perfected it. And some artists just wanted it to stay private and just wanted it to be their own stuff, and it could be their own little perfection. We're not the ones to judge. The people that are to judge are the artists and people that have worked close with them if they feel like they can do a service to that artist. I'm not going to say my opinion on the matter, but let me know in the comments down below. What do you guys think? Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? If you guys want more music content like this, where I talk about more musical themes and stuff like that, leave a like on this video. If we can get to about, let's say 10 likes, I'll make another video on posthumous music, but on a specific artist. Now, I won't say who yet, as it's a little bit of a surprise, but I promise you guys it'll be a great video. I can assure you that. So without further ado, guys, I've been very moody. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like down below, comment, make sure to check out the album from Kickin' Candy, make sure to check out my previous videos, and make sure to subscribe. You know what I mean? Like 60% of you guys aren't subscribed, and that's alright. I'm gonna be a generic YouTuber here, but please subscribe, support the content, show me that you like it. I would love to make more videos, and I know it's dependent on me, but I would love to see some support for it. So again, thank you guys very much, and peace.